Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today in this video I will be saying the top 5 major villains to do after Thanos and Infinity War. These will be in no particular order, and I know that Marvel doesn't have the rights to some of these characters, but they'll still be on the list because they could potentially obtain the rights to these characters in the future. So let's get into the video. Starting off this list will be Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. As I said, Marvel doesn't own the rights to this character, but still, I think it should be a really cool villain. Just imagine in credit scenes of him devouring worlds and the Silver Surfer just summoning him to Earth. Or the movie, if this was going to be a thing, of all the Avengers just trying to take him down and all the other heroes that might appear in between now and then if this were to happen. This would be really cool, and if Marvel could get the rights to Galactus, I think they could pull it off right this time and not do a monstrosity of a space cloud that has to have holes to eat the planet. That was just stupid in my opinion. But I still think this could be a really cool team-up movie of all the new heroes and old ones that might be coming back, kind of like Infinity War is going to be. Now, for the second villain they could possibly do in the MCU. Dormammu. I think they could possibly do him in the MCU because he's already been introduced in Doctor Strange, so audiences will be familiar with his character. But he seems kind of more like a Doctor Strange villain than a whole team-up movie for all the Avengers and Guardians. But still, if they do run out of things to do, they could possibly do Dormammu. Now, since there's really not that much to say about him for a possible team-up movie, let's move on to the third possible villain. Another possible villain or event I think they could do is Doctor Doom / Secret Wars, or the 2015 version of Secret Wars. If you don't know what Secret Wars is, it's basically when Doctor Doom kills the Beyonders who've been smashing different universes into each other, and so he takes their power and continues on smashing the universes into each other, effectively destroying those universes, and then he takes all the pieces of said universes and makes them into Battle World, basically where he's the king and everyone obeys him, and he even has Doomguard instead of Asgard. Of course, he has to inflate his ego. However, Doctor Doom is overthrown by the heroes of Battle World, and this was basically Marvel just rebooting their universe because it kind of got hard to follow and everything. You had to been paying attention since the 1960s. Marvel probably wouldn't do this because Secret Wars will get confusing to new audiences because they haven't quite yet introduced the concept of there being alternate versions of your favorite superheroes. And also they don't own the rights to Doctor Doom. And it will probably just get confusing to everyone. But if they did get Doctor Doom, they could use him in a different way besides Secret Wars. And I do think that if they obtain the rights to Doctor Doom, they could put a good Doctor Doom. I mean, the original Fantastic Four movies did have a good Doctor Doom, but Fox does not want to let go of those Fantastic Four rights, even though they can't seem to make a good movie with those rights. So, now on to the fourth possible villain. Probably the most possible candidate on this list, the Skrulls. The Skrulls are basically a race of shape-shifting aliens, and since they're already confirmed to be in the Captain Marvel movie that's coming out soon, I do think that they could easily be the next villain. They could do kind of a secret invasion thing where at the end of Infinity War, maybe there's some in-credit scenes of them replacing Avengers like possibly Iron Man, Hawkeye, Captain America if he doesn't die, which I think he will die in Infinity War. Basically, they could do a lot of stuff with them, and they could even have a kind of a Kree Skrull war if they want to go in that direction. But I do think these are really possible candidates. And if they were to have like a big event of everyone finding out who's who, and I think that'll be a really good story. And plus, after Civil War, they're probably not that trusting with each other, and the Skrulls just make them even harder to trust. So again, probably the most possible candidate on this list, and I do hope they go in this direction. Now, on to the last, but not least villain. The villain I think should be in the MCU most, Kang the Conqueror. Again, if you don't know who Kang is, he's basically a time-traveling, I think he's an alien, but I'm not 100% sure. And I think this would be a really cool villain for the MCU. I mean, after Thanos, maybe let's just say he's trapped in the time gem, and then that's how he gets his powers, and maybe somehow during the course of Infinity War he escapes, or maybe Thanos has him prisoner in like a cage somewhere, and after Thanos is defeated, then the Avengers are able to free him, and then he starts basically tearing up the Avengers or trying to defeat them from then on. I think this would be really cool because they could have like kind of hints of him like in the background of different movies. Like if they knew they were gonna do this, they could for Captain Marvel, they could have him there, and then they could have him like in the background of other movies just to like kind of get that feeling that he's always there, always watching. And I think this should be a really good villain, and they could just do a lot of stuff with him. Since he's a time traveler, they could introduce a lot of new technology with him. And if they were to do this, this would be probably another big threat for the Avengers and Guardians to face. Because they, besides Thanos, they probably won't have faced anything like him. Because the only person who has a time gem is Doctor Strange. So Kang would be a really nice addition. And there's really not much else to say about him, but I do really hope that they do put him in the MCU. So, that wraps it up for this list. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully by the time this video is up, I'll be working on my Inhumans review since it's going to come out on Friday, and by the time this is up, it might already be out. So, stay tuned for that, and that's the end of the video.